Okay, thank you, Win. I've set up an agenda for today's call. We are going to review the current sprint, then we look at the status of tickets and testing needed. I noticed we have quite a number, so I thought maybe we need to look at them. And after that, we'll have implementation updates from the projects using mUzima, after which any other topic that you guys will have. So I guess we will go straight to look at the current sprint. So this is short sprint we set up to run for 1 week. It goes up to Monday. So I will ask if guys have any updates or any point you want to raise or any comments regarding the current sprint. Okay, so on this sprint, we don't have any tickets on hold. There are 3 in progress. 1 under pre-testing. So I have 2 being handled by myself, the dispenser and health center forms. So one is being tested by the users, and another one is I'm at the last stages of completing. Then we have resolving conflict between REST web services and mUzima registration modules. Maybe Win, do you have any? Do you want to talk about this? Okay, no comment from Win.
Sorry, no comment. Sorry, my voice is kind of.
Okay, sorry.
So just a question there.
Yeah.
When are you saying that you're working on it, not working on it, when it's supposed to be done? I'm not exactly sure I understand, no comment.
Yeah, when Martin is saying he doesn't quite understand what you mean by no comment. So maybe if you can tell us what is the status, are you working on it or?
Yeah, I'm still working on it, so it's not done yet.
Okay. All right. Then, Achana, you have a number of tickets, one in progress, another one I think they're still open. So maybe if you can give an update of all those.
Yeah, hello Simon.
Hello?
I'm still working on the edit patient part. Um, I'm facing a little bit problem in saving the edited patient. I'm still working on that. Maybe in a day or two I might be done with that.
So with the problem, you're kind of stuck or you are in progress?
I'm in progress. I have few ideas. I'm trying to resolve the reason saving the patient. So the patient object is ready with all the updated details. I mean with the fingerprint details. But then when I'm saving it, it's not actually saving to the database. So I'm trying to check the reason. Apparently, I'm not getting any error. So I'm trying to debug and figure out the reason. So I'm in progress state.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Swetha, any update from your side?
Yeah, hi Simon. Yeah, I'm actually working on mUzima 94, where I think on the import forms page, we want to, instead of allowing the user to enter the discriminator, we are going to actually fetch it based on the installation of the OpenMRS. Basically, we want to just get the list of handlers and the discriminators that each of these handlers support. I think I need to just test a little bit more, and it's almost done. So that's the update from my side on 94.
Okay, thank you. Um, there are two tickets under code review. I guess, Win, you're working on those.
Yep, I will. We'll try to code review it later today.
Okay, thank you. Achana, there's a question from Martin. I don't know whether you want to comment or reply.
Yeah, hi Martin. So most of the time, I reach out to Wen and I get my problem solved. Uh, and yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, no, that helps, Achana. It seems like if you're getting stuck just because your time is kind of starting to run short, erring on the side of kind of seeking help. No, I'm glad you are doing due diligence in researching things for yourself, but we also don't get too slowed down because I think there's still a bunch of tickets on your side to do. But great job.
Okay. Yeah, sure, Martin. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, guys. Now, I guess if there are no further comments about the current sprint, we still have some time left before it ends, so hopefully we'll continue working on the current tickets. Now, the next agenda is about this testing column. We have quite a number of tickets. So the CDSS team, I know you are the primary people concerned with testing. So I don't know whether you can give us an update on this, or maybe you want us to go through each of the tickets one by one.
Could I just ask one general question even before we go to the specific tickets? Can the team tell us which of the testing items were closed during this sprint?
Maybe understood your question. Maybe.
Yeah, were there any testing tickets that were closed during this sprint before we go to each specific one? I just want to get a sense of the productivity of the team in actually finalizing things.
Okay.
So do you guys have anything on the testing list that was closed this week?
I think none from our side.
So you're saying in a week none of the testing tickets were done and closed? I just want to make sure.
What I mean is like we've not closed any, but
okay,
yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay, so are you facing any challenges you want us to talk about, or shall we go through it?
The challenges, it's Obina speaking. Like personally, I've been testing a teleconsultation, and there's a ticket I raised and I mentioned Win on it. The question I was asking Win, because I was testing across mUzima test at mUzima 299.
Yes, Obina, I think this one is not part of the current sprint, though I know it's something you are continuously working on.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Could we, while we were talking about the consultation, I thought the corrections had been pushed back, had been pushed in for us about a week ago. Is that correct? I think I saw a push, or sorry, a pull request like a week and a half ago. Am I missing something?
Maybe it was an update on that.
Yeah, I can't remember the ticket number off the top of my head, but my sense was that the issues had been resolved around the development. Am I incorrect in making that assumption? And it was just a pull request.
The last time I spoke to Win, he told me it had issues, and I presented to him the issues that I was experiencing, and he told me. So I've had him on the chat, and I did not get response from him. I've not got.
Yeah, Chief Win, did you see the pull request that came on the teleconsultation stuff?
Yeah, I think the form is updated, but I don't think the handler is updated yet.
Ah, okay.
I think that's why.
Okay, that helps.
Yeah.
Okay. So essentially, what we are saying is, at this point, people shouldn't spend their time trying to test the teleconsultation module.
Yeah, I think if we can focus on testing just what on the sprint, I think that would really better approach rather than testing anything outside the sprint scope.
So
if we can go through all the ticket in the testing column and then test those tickets so we can close it, otherwise it's just gonna fall up to the next sprint.
Okay, so when generally you mean we should focus on the tickets on the current sprint, we give them priority. So that needs to be understood by the CDSS team and anyone who is involved in testing.
Correct.
Okay.
I think everyone, if everyone can work based on the sprint only, that way we can easily quantify the work that's been done on the current sprint. So we can see if you go to the burn down chart, we can see how much ticket that we close on, because until the ticket gets to the done point, the burn down chart is not gonna update it because it's always going to be the same. So if you go to the report tab, Simon, if you can see the gray chart is the normal sprint burn down chart, and then the red one is the actual work. So on this sprint, we only close 251. That was the one where there's a drop in the red graph. So in ideal sprint situation, the red will follow the gray one.
Win, that's actually quite helpful for me. Can you just maybe reflect a little bit on why we didn't get that level of burn down? It seems to me that a lot of it has to do with the testing piece. Could I be wrong?
Yeah, I think some of the ticket is stuck on the testing phase, and a lot of the time, I think Ada did a lot of the testing, and then with her being gone, we've been stuck a little bit on the testing side. Because I think a lot of the sprint work is falling off from our previous long sprint because the ticket is stuck on the testing phase.
Okay. When that really helps. But my presumption is most of the testing is actually not assigned to EDA. It's assigned to the folks on the Kenya side. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, would it be worthwhile, at least, for today, for us to walk through the tickets and really get the exact reason why they're stuck there, just to understand why we are not moving from a testing side?
Yeah, I think one way we probably can do this better in the upcoming sprint is actually assigning each ticket to a tester. So instead of the ticket still being assigned to the developer, I think all the testing phase tickets should be released from the developer. So make it unassigned, and then everyone who will do testing can claim that ticket and then do the testing.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, Wayne. I don't know what other people think.
I think that way we can easily track down the testing part of it.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. And maybe, I don't know the experience of CDSS. It could also be that some of the tickets, they don't really know what to test, or somehow probably we need also to give some specification of the things that should be tested. I don't know whether CDSS you face any challenges of knowing what to test exactly.
Okay. We've been having some challenges like and mUzima 297, whereby we tested, and when downloading forms and providers and concepts, when you download, they are highlighted. So it was one blockers we reported. Until now, we are seeing the same problem. But that ticket has been pending 97.
So the tickets is the 297 is affecting testing of other issues. Is that what you mean?
No, it's not really affecting, but I wish.
Okay.
It's also affecting because you are not able to test using Huawei Y210. You can't do anything, like when you tap on client, the application crashes. So do anything with.
Okay, and I see. So I think you need to report such challenges immediately and continue testing.
We reported. We reported.
Yeah, I get it. So I'm just saying, maybe as an advice, you need to indicate on the ticket, and then move on to testing other tickets. And probably you'll need to have some way of raising it so that we can have a look. Though I can see 297 is also not in the current. So going by earlier advice from Win, I think we need to focus on the current sprint.
So, Savai, I think you make a good point. Maybe it's worthwhile for us to go through each of the tickets under testing and just see where we are and see whether they need to be moved to other places or understand at least the reasons why they do not move. You want to just go do that?
Okay. Yeah. So let's start with mUzima 249, programming of CDM screening form. This one has been under testing by Lawrence. So yesterday, Lawrence gave his last comment saying this is okay with this ticket, so it should be closed. So I guess this one is supposed to be closed.
So you all agree that it should be closed? Let me ask just also a procedural question. Who's responsible for closing tickets? Is there a kind of standard mechanism? Is it always EDA? Is it the person who did the ticket? What's the mechanism there?
Okay, previously I thought it was EDA who was closing tickets. Myself, I'm not clear exactly whether we have a specific person who should be closing tickets. Win, maybe you could advise on this.
I think it should be the tester, because we cannot really tell whether the testing has been completed or not until the tester said this is complete or not. I think we should be in the habit of allowing the tester to claim the ticket and then close it once the testing is done.
Okay, great. What do you think?
I would agree to some extent, but most probably we, especially after having a discussion with Eda, that maybe we have done what is best and it's due for closure. That's when she does closing of the specified tickets.
Well, yeah, it seems to me that
saying.
Go ahead, Derek.
Sorry? Yeah, I've been saying that mostly I agree with what Win has been saying, and mostly what has been happening, we would communicate back to Eda, and with the help of Eda, she's been in a position to close the tickets, ascertaining that the tickets are due for closure.
Yeah. No, I would lean towards what Wayne said is, by the time you're doing testing, you should know the exact activities you're supposed to be doing. So if you think they are satisfied, then I think you should be empowered to close the ticket, because, we are relying on you to say that, whatever I was testing works or doesn't. And if it doesn't work, at least then you've shared it with the other people. I don't know what Achana and Shrita and Savai think.
Yeah, I agree that it should be the people testing who should close the ticket. Yeah.
So I just have a suggestion. So usually when someone files a ticket, like it could be Lawrence or one of the implementers, you'll see a problem on the app or on mUzima, and you'll basically file a ticket, and then we put it on the sprint or the next sprint based on the priority. And once the developer works on it and has committed the code or like generated an APK, I think, I don't know, a lot of times maybe the tester is different. Is this usually like the tester is always the person who filed the ticket? because there could be a disconnect between what the person who filed the ticket was seeing a problem and how the tester is actually testing it and how the developer addressed the problem. So it's like three different people, and since we're all not in the same place physically and geographically, there could be a lot of miscommunication and with regards to how you tested, what is the real problem, how was it fixed. And right now, the only way we're addressing that issue is either by leaving comments on the Jira or discussing on the call. And both of them are not really robust ways, because if someone forgets to update the ticket or leave instructions on how to test it or why the Jira was filed itself originally, it's not really easy for the person who's testing or the implementer. So it seems to me that this is not, I don't know if there's a better way to do it.
Do the developers typically actually put in that they fix the issue when they make the pull request? So do they update the ticket, or it's just understood based on the status of the ticket?
The process right now is that once we actually, so there are a bunch of tickets under the open section which are ready for any of the developers to pick up. So once you pick up the ticket, you assign it to yourself and say move it to in progress, and anybody can go to the Jira homepage and see what is the status of the ticket. So if the developer is actively working on it, we move it to the in progress state. And once you're done with the fix, if this is an APK where, if this is a Jira where you want to generate like a snapshot APK so that the person can test and get back to you and say that, yeah, I'm fine with whatever changes or the fixes that you've made. I don't see the problem that I was originally seeing happening anymore. That's when we actually commit the code to the main branch, and then we move it to testing needed. So there are 2 rounds of testing. But again, because I'm not really, I don't know, most of the times it's Ada who tests, and sometimes I know that Lawrence tests some of the tickets, and Robai, I guess, also tests some of the tickets. But a lot of times I feel like the person who asked for the change or noticed the problem initially is not the person who may not be the person who's actually testing. So because of that, I feel that there could be a disconnect in the understanding of why the Jira was actually filed and how it was fixed and how do you test it. But there are situations where sometimes if it's like a pretty obvious thing, I don't actually add instructions because the Jira is descriptive enough to explain what the problem is. But if it's something more elaborate than that, then I usually put in instructions on how to test. But that's not a, people would argue that that's not the good way to do it, because when a developer is actually faced with a problem, he or she writes code just to address that problem, and they don't usually think of how the user will use it. So if I give it to a tester, a good test would be if someone has no clue why this how to test it, and they test it in ways that the developer doesn't expect them to test it, to find problems that the developer did not anticipate. So leaving instructions would be just like they will be repeating the same test that I have already done, which is not a good thing.
No, Shweta, you actually make a lot of good points. So the first thing is usually the person who filed the ticket is the person who really should be testing, because our team composition isn't changing that much, and individuals are assigned to particular domains of work. And so it would seem to me that ideally the person who filed the ticket would naturally be the one who tests it after it's been fixed. So we can just make that one of the standard things, which means if somebody's you could potentially assign it back to the person who did the initial testing, or who discovered the bug in the first place. Do the other people think that's a fair way to go? So once the bug is fixed, we assign it to the person initiated it or who did the initial testing.
Yes, we agree.
And then, Shweta, I think it makes sense at times not to put in instructions, just to allow them to test whichever way they want. But if you absolutely feel that there is a nuance in the testing that they need to know, you could potentially just put the instructions. So I think we'll leave that to the developer's discretion.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough.
And so the folks in Kenya wouldn't have a very difficult time knowing what to test, given, obviously, unless it's a new thing that needs to be tested for the first time. But if it was a bug that was identified that's being fixed, presumably they'll be just doing the previous testing that they've done to make sure that the bug has been resolved. And then if it's a new thing that needs testing, obviously a little bit more instructions can be provided.
Okay.
So could you walk through these tickets? I don't know what time we have now.
We have about 13 minutes, so.
So 2:45 has Lawrence provided. Is Lawrence on the call? Sorry, 2:49.
Yeah, Lawrence is not on the call. I created the ticket for him, but he's confirmed the form is now okay. So this one I will close. mUzima 272 change mUzima forms as part of download location.
So who was testing that? Do we know?
Looks like no one has been testing this.
Yeah. So it seems like the big gap there is one of assignment. Okay. So could you? Yeah, go ahead.
How do we actually address, like, this particular one was brought about by a change request from another Jira, which kind of it kind of touched other parts of the application as well, including the forms. And because I made this change, I know that this change should go in complementary to the other change, and I've tested it, but I still don't know who would be the right person to test, because this needs a lot of testing. It's touching all of the forms across the repository, but I'm not sure if we have a dedicated tester or a test team where I can go and just tell them that, hey, can you please test all these forms, and this is the way you should be testing it.
No, my personal sense would be, one, this is the type of ticket that will let Edda decide how she wants to handle. But two, it's the type of ticket where we might want to put in just some instructions saying, once you get the new APK, test to make sure that the forms can do these things. That's all. So because the tester won't know the details about what you're trying to do, but providing them instructions and go through all the forms and make sure that they behave this way might just be something to put at the end as a comment there. I don't know what people think.
Sure, that makes sense. I agree. I will change that.
So for now, is it okay for us to just assign it to Edda? And Sabai, we can just update Edda on the discussion, and then she can decide whether she wants to assign it to someone else or whether she's going to just do the testing herself. And then Shweta will just make the small note at the end. Okay?
That's cool. So we move on. 275, change of location ID for oncology forms. I know CDSS team has been testing this.
Who specifically is testing it?
Should be Robai.
Robai, can you provide us updates?
Robai, in case you're speaking, you are on mute.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay, I think these are tickets that Robai encountered some other problems while testing, so possibly she was not able to test.
okay.
I wish you could give us the update.
Yeah. Couple of things. So let's change the ticket assignment to Robai. And no, Robai, did you even get to test? Because if you didn't, that's fine because it hadn't been necessarily assigned to you. That way we can move on.
Okay.
So Robai, did you test it or no?
Hello, sorry, we got dropped.
We're checking if Robai had a chance to test the ticket and the discussion. I can't see the number.
275. Sorry. Derek, are you with Robai?
Yeah, I am here with Robai. We got dropped on the way, so you're saying which ticket?
mUzima 275.
275, the oncology IDs.
Yeah.
Okay, Robai.
Yeah, it is working. It was changed to 284. It was resolved.
Robai, can you just scroll down before you change? Just scroll down.
I closed the ticket.
The comments say that it was resolved. Okay.
Okay.
So Robai, if you look there, so we don't have any additional comments saying it was resolved, which means it makes it difficult for people to know where it stands.
Okay, what happened? I tested using Nexus 7 tablet, but it's working. I'll comment there. It is working.
So if you put the comment and then you close the ticket if you think it's resolved.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. And let's make that kind of standard operating procedure. If anybody has a comment, update it, and it needs to be closed. Let's close the ticket.
Okay.
Okay. 264 revised mUzima form discriminator from HTML registration to JSON registration. Manisha was working on this. I'm not aware of any testing.
It strikes me. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just want to say whether CDs, ask whether CDSs were able to test.
Well, it seems to me that this is a type of ticket that needs a little bit of clarification. So if somebody who wasn't part of this process saw this ticket, they wouldn't even know what to test. Okay?
Yeah.
So it would seem to me that a comment again from the developer saying, okay, as part of testing, or even from EDA, as part of testing, this is what we need to make sure would make sense. And some things, if they don't need any further testing by the team, then that's fine. I don't know if Shweta or Win, you have comments about how to handle tickets like this.
I think, excuse me, we probably need to add a little bit more information in the acceptance criteria part of the ticket, so that way we can, because we have the acceptance criteria in the description, and we probably need to involve more of the tester and developer when we groom the sprint ticket. So for example, like this one, the acceptance criteria just say rename HTML registration to JSON registration, we probably can expand it to include how we can test it out.
And it seems to me that something like this is, could be tested by EDA instead of having it done by a CDSS testing person on the Kenyan side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe assigning it to EDA for testing, EDA or Savai, I guess,
Okay.
just because it's more of a technical one than an end user implementation one. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair. I will take this up just before Monday.
Thank you, Savai.
Thanks.
So we move on to mUzima 252. Corresponding retired data from mUzima forms will not be supplied correctly in database. I think this is like 264, may not be tested by the CDSS. I'm not aware of any testing. Unless if, Swetha, you have any update on this from your team.
Yeah, hi Simon. So for this one, I think this is just like I can put in some. Oh, actually, yeah, there are no instructions for this, but we spoke on the call, I think, 2 weeks back about how to implement this. So when you retire a form from the forms page, there we also wanted to capture the date, the time, and the user who was retiring the form, as well as the reason why the form was retired. So I think this is pretty straightforward, and it's been implemented, and there's a pull request open for it. So again, I think this is something that I would think that Ada would test.
Yes, on Savai, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
or Savai.
Okay.
So Savai, could you just pick it up because Ada is a little bit more away for the time being?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Chief.
280. Increasing font size on forms. I think this was implemented. I've seen it work on latest APKs. Yeah, CDSS, I don't know. This, I think, is something you could test. I know you are working on it. So, any update?
It works fine on the Nexus 7, but you're experiencing problems with the Huawei Y210. So I think
First comment there is, why is the ticket not updated?
Or maybe you can apply it on the same ticket, the same problem. Because I tested using the Huawei Ascend Y210, and to me, zooming in and out and also using the sizes were quite okay. I don't know.
So, so that you can move on, could you finalize on this? Finalize the testing and update the ticket.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
So,
yes, Martin?
Simon, can you log in as mUzima because it seems to be going to go over and I might need to leave.
So I was saying mUzima 281 is about updating the APK so that it can serialize and populate OBS data. Okay, this one I provided a form to use for testing and also some instructions, but I don't think anyone has tested this. So to me, it's working fine, but maybe I needed a third eye, somebody else to test and confirm it's working fine, I think. So probably I'll give further instructions to CBSS while testing this, and also while testing the other two tickets, the health center form and the dispensary form, because they go hand in hand.
Well, Savai, just the person to assign this is the person who's doing CDM. So the person on the team responsible for CDM should be the one helping you also test this. So that should also be assigned to them. Do you know who the person is?
That's TOR.
Okay, there's TOR, but there's also a CBSS person working on CDM.
Oh, yeah, sure.
That's Ruth.
Okay, so Ruth would be the other person to help. Sorry for interrupting.
Okay, so Ruth, I'll work with you so that we can have this tested.
Okay, Savai.
282, it's related to 281. So we are looking at the server side, and I think it will be the same case. So I'll work with Ruth to make sure this is tested as well. mUzima 291. The app crashes if you try to download a provider without a system ID.
Mary, do you have any updates for us?
For this one, I'm not able to actually see the error, and I was just hoping that Ada would test it once and like confirm if she's facing the, because I think she tested it in the past and she didn't find the issue as well. So I'm not sure how we should handle this. Like,
okay, Sita, let me also take it up. Let me continue testing it because Ada is not here. Then I will give you feedback.
But also Mary should be part of that process, right? Because she's the one who raised the issues, right?
Yes.
Yes.
yeah, okay. And the other, sorry, Mary, go ahead.
Okay, I tested the app crash, but I didn't find anything. But on the device side, I was not able to download the provider. There was no download bar or button.
From the settings?
From the settings, yeah, under settings.
Okay, Mary, let me test it to see whether I'll experience what you're experiencing. Then we can give you any feedback in case it doesn't work.
Okay. And maybe I can also like take, I'm actually testing with an emulator. So I don't know if that could be a reason why it's behaving differently on the actual device that Mary is using. I think I've already put up screenshots on how you can download a provider with. So either Mary and I and Ada have to get on a call and I'll help her to test how she's testing or just guide her based on how she's testing. But again, it's not this issue that Mary is reporting. I'm not able to recreate it on my screen. So I need someone to be with Mary, or Mary and I should get on a call and resolve this.
Okay.
It seems like Mary and Savai can just sit for to begin because they're in the same place, and then if they need you later, they can involve you just to save you some time.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next is 289. Clear data from the previous run of the wizard if the wizard crashes or is interrupted. Switha, you are working on this. Looks like Eric, Robai, and Lawrence have been testing. Any updates from CDSS team on this?
So I think Robai has put in an update there, but I'm not sure why it's not been closed. Let me just.
Yeah, I agree with you, Shweta. It seems like it should be closed, and then for the device-specific stuff, we can go to the other tickets.
Okay.
Is that fair, Rubai?
Robai, shall I close? Okay, I'll follow up with Robai on this. Then we can close it.
Sema. Oh, Sema.
Okay. Sorry, you were dropped off. Yes, close it, Sabai.
Okay. Apply validation against bounded to mUzima forms.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Simon, this is more of a. This is just a test whether let's say in the drop down in the autocomplete fields like we have for location ID and provider, if someone enters something which is not a valid location, the user should get warned about it. And we initially changed it just for one form and we tested and it was okay. So this is again like a big, like a little bit of a vast change where, or a big change where a lot of forms have to be tested. And if you scroll up the original ticket, or there should be screenshots on how to test. 251.
Okay.
Yeah. So is there some screenshots? There should be some screenshots there.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
and then a set of forms to use
Yeah.
for testing.
Yeah.
Okay. So Switha, you think CDSS can handle this, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So CDSS, if you have any challenges, please let us know so that we can test that one.
So
Okay, that is on 251, right?
who specifically is going to test it? And are the instructions clear? That way we can assign it to an individual instead of just a diffuse team.
51 again.
I think I can take.
Yeah, Derek. Thank you, Derek. That's mUzima 289.
289, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Derek, you're clear about what you need to test exactly?
Yeah, I'll ping a channel and Sweden about the same. I know it will be okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you can
Okay.
ping me or Switha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just include the testing instructions as a comment there for him.
Okay. Sure. Okay.
So Switha, please just put a comment. I think you gave an update already, so it would be good if you just do a comment, then Derek can proceed testing it.
On which one is this, Simon? Is it on 289?
Yeah.
Sure, I will.
289.
Oh, but I'm sorry, but I thought Robai already tested this and it was okay. Are we retesting?
Yeah, I tested both with Nexus and Huawei and it was working. I was able to clear data from the previous wizard. So it was working.
So, is there a reason why Derek is testing it again, Simon? I'm not sure. I can put the instructions in there. That's not the issue. But I was just wondering, like, what the status of the ticket is.
Okay. Sorry, it was 268.
268.
Yeah. So Derek, Sita, if you
Sure,
could do a comment on
I
268.
will do that. Yeah,
Okay.
I will do that.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay, 268.
Yeah.
That's
So finally, we have 294. Unable to save form as it is having JavaScript error.
294.
Yeah, was raised by Manisha. So Manisha, Ada asked you to provide a template. So Swita, can you follow up with Manisha? If she can provide a template to be used for testing.
Sure, I can follow up on this.
Yeah, and then after that,
In itinerary.
I think anyone can test this. So probably you can assign it to CDFS.
What?
Saving form, having some JavaScript error, and Manisha will give a template for use. So Ruth, you think you can help on this?
Okay, we liaise with you, Savai.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for the tickets under testing. So there's quite a lot of testing to be done. And actually that's holding the current sprint from completing some of the tickets. So I think we've learned a lot. We now see the need for us to make sure we complete the tickets by testing so that they can be closed. So I think in future we need to be looking at ways of even improving our testing processes. Unless, I don't know whether there's any other comment on that. If no
Maybe
comment,
Savai, yeah?
yes.
So maybe we were thinking maybe if you could have a mechanism of updating our servers, because at times you're testing against maybe APKs or mods that are out of date. So I don't know what is the procedure of updating, like maybe you're testing on AMPA test servers. So I don't know, maybe the mechanism of updating the test servers is at the moment.
Yeah, I think currently we have the latest mods on the test server. I think it would be necessary unless if you are testing against a particular OMOD, which should be specified on the ticket. The ticket should provide you with whether it's dependent on a form, then there should be some form template. If it's dependent on an APK, then there should be some specific version of the APK, and as well for the OMODs. So I've seen a number of tickets. We provide links where you can download the APK or the OMOD, and even the form template. And as well, if it's dependent on a particular set of concepts that are not yet on the test server, I think we shall specify, and in that case, we shall request to install the latest gold on that server.
Yeah, because at some instances, we've had different results in the different test servers. So I was guessing maybe there are different modes, or maybe one is updated and the other is not.
Yeah, so in that case, just report probably against the ticket so that we can look at it.
Okay, thanks.
maybe on the same note, Savai, what we can do also, we can update the form server in case of movement of any gold to any of the servers that put the server in production. I think it will be okay. So I think also updating the form server will be fine.
Derek, I think that comes when we want to move a form now into production. We be sure to always update the form server.
Good, thanks.
Thanks, Abai.
So are we done with the call?
No?
Oh, okay. So I got disconnected.
Are we done with the call?
So the question is, we are done with the testing tickets. So if there are any implementation updates that can be given, if not, any other topic.
Just wanted to just remind you guys that, like, I think last week we had a call where we were talking about, when Kiran and Manisha were on the team last week, we basically talked about how we can do continuous integration with mUzima, and we presented a bunch of slides where we basically explained what is continuous integration, and Kiran also has taken the time to analyze and figure out how this continuous integration should be set up for mUzima. And I feel like, especially today's call, like a lot of the issues that we're seeing, like not knowing which APK is deployed, what is the latest APK, building code and merging code on time, and making sure that the latest code is out there for people to test. All of these issues will become much easier if we have continuous integration set up for mUzima. So I was planning to talk to Ada once she's back from vacation on, because this is going to be a change from the way we are doing things today, but in a positive way. So, but definitely a big change, and especially from the way we're going to start working, and it's more of an attitude change actually. So I was just wondering if any of you guys have taken some time to just think about it. Is this something that you'll see us doing? Because we definitely feel it'll be a good thing for mUzima. So just wanted to know your thoughts on that.
Yeah, Sita, I strongly agree. When we automate our testing processes, that would improve, will reduce the amount of errors that we experience when we make changes to our code. So hopefully, if we implement that process, you did a very good presentation, and I strongly believe that will improve the entire workflow for us. So probably, I think we'll want to hear what Ada thinks about this.
Yeah, let's just wait for Ada to get back.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other topics?
No, that's about it.
Okay. So that's it for today, guys. Sorry for holding you around. I really appreciate your patience. Let's meet again on Monday, during Monday's call.
Okay, survive.
Okay,